NTA. You can't beat the rich.
Hello Nigeria, welcome to Newsline. I am Becky Maduchemu. To the women watching, come closer to the telly. We have your time today. There is a trend which has taken over the feminine landscape of the country. We're all consumed by it. Are Nigerian women suddenly vain, or they now know what the last generation was indifferent about? I'll keep that topic a secret until the reporter shows up to spill the beans. Still on Nigerian women and their excusable vain ambitions, there is a lot that comes with changing the color of your skin. An educational piece will handle that subject. Now, many of us have encountered individuals with multiple personalities. What are the consequences of dwelling in the world of make-believe? An expert and the streets will be talking. And while in the streets we dare to bond with traders, how do they do what they do? It's already looking very good, isn't it? I promise you it will be better. All you need to do is wait for the news segment with Rhoda Obo, and Newsline will continue after that. Over to you, Rhoda.
Thank you, Becky. Hello, good evening, Nigeria, and a warm welcome. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigeria will continue to make wild consultations before taking a stand on Economic Partnership Agreement (EPA) between ECOWAS and the European Union. The Vice President, who stated this in Dakar at the just concluded West African Leaders Meeting, said the government was still discussing with Manufacturers Association of Nigeria and other key economic players. He noted that some of the terms of the agreement capable of restricting manufacturer-trader activity. The EPA agreement is a free trade deal that has been initiated by EU and ECOWAS negotiators covering trade in goods and development cooperation. We'll bring you details of the Vice President's visit in our subsequent news belts. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, says the Nigerian Air Force will stop at nothing to combat all forms of criminality, especially emerging trends of economic sabotage in the Niger Delta region. The Air Chief stated this in Yola during a tour of operation areas in the northeast. Defense correspondent KG Busari Ahmed reports.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, says with the intensified effort in both northeastern part of the country and the Niger Delta region, all criminality are gradually coming under check. Noted that the operational capability of the Nigerian Air Force remains intact.
What we have is quite adequate. You will never have all that you want to have. What is important is for you to recognize what you have and what you need and try to make the best use of what is available, and that's exactly what we are doing.
I want to assure the Air Force again that we will utilize your expertise to participate in rebuilding the Northeast, particularly those areas that force majeure did not allow most of the contractors to be on site.
This set of service chiefs, they are not corrupt. We all know, we used to work with them, we know what used to happen.
The Air Chief, who inspected operational areas in both Maiduguri and Yola, also commissioned projects to enhance operational efficiency of the personnel, which include one-bedroom accommodation for corporal and below, operational wing building, pilot crew rooms, and a new apron. He also paid a visit to the internally displaced persons currently undergoing eye surgery at the Nigerian Air Force Hospital, Maiduguri. KG Busari Ahmed, NTA News.
94 suspects have been arrested in connection with the destruction of properties in Auchi Polytechnic following a protest by students of the evening program. The Edo State Police Commissioner, Chris Ezike, was speaking on assessment tour on the destruction in the Polytechnic. David Ojon Acha reports.
On assessment of damages done by the students was at the e-learning center, where over 48 laptop computers were carted away by the protesting students and others destroyed. The Central Library, the EcoBank ATM machine, the Management Information System of the school, as well as the School of Information and Communication Technology, where almost all the offices and departments were vandalized. Chris Ezike, who disclosed that 161 vehicles were destroyed, condemned the action of the students.
When you make up your mind to commit criminal acts, we will also make up our mind to deal with you as a criminal. And they are not yet over. From what I have seen, it looks like a premeditated act.
94 suspects, including 2 female students, have been arraigned before the Magistrate Court 2 in Auchi, while further investigation is still ongoing. In Auchi, Edo State, I am Victor Odion Acha, NTA News.
Normalcy has returned to Pandogari, a town in Rafi local government area of Niger State, after 2 days of violence that left 4 people dead, many injured, and properties destroyed by some aggrieved youths in the community. Dauda Muhammad reports that the community and traditional rulers are appealing for calm and understanding by all parties concerned.
Pandogari, a transit town in Rafi local government area of Niger State, about 150 kilometers away from Mina, the state capital, witnessed an orgy of violence by irate youths who broke into several shops, looting and destroying goods and property worth millions of naira, as well as a place of worship, based on allegations that a young man committed blasphemy on the social media. By the time security agents were able to bring the situation under control, 4 people were confirmed dead, including the author of the alleged blasphemous statement. Some of the over 150 families whom have been settled in the town for over 35 years expressed shock over the incident.
We will advise our people, henceforth, this is what they don't like. Don't do it. And to them, I will advise, please, anybody that is responsible to this, don't take law into your hands.
These activities of is a problem of drugs and the youth. That is the main cause of this mayhem.
We have 32 suspects arrested. They are being interrogated now, and once we are through with the investigation, they will be arraigned in court for prosecution.
Though many shops remain locked, for now, a dusk till dawn curfew has been imposed in the town. From Pandogari, Rafi local government area of Niger State, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Effective communication has been identified as a veritable tool to open up space for dialogue, mutual understanding, reconciliation, as well as promote peaceful coexistence. This was the thrust of the message delivered by Reverend Father Patrick Olumoko at the Abuja Catholic Archdiocesan 2016 World Communication Day celebration held in Abuja. Olajide Bello has details.
The Second Vatican Council in 1963 set aside the Sunday before Pentecost as World Communications Day. The day is aimed at drawing attention to the vast and complex phenomenon of the modern means of social communications. Pope Francis III, in his message delivered by Father Emmanuel Ojefo, said good communication is not the product of the latest or the most developed technology, but is realized within the context of a deep interpersonal relationship.
We can communicate with an attitude of mercy only when our hearts are touched by God's love.
With the theme Communication and Mercy, a Fruitful Encounter, the choice of the theme, celebrant says, is clearly determined by the celebration of the extraordinary Jubilee of Mercy.
We should use communication to build bridges among people.
We must be very careful in the way we communicate the word to everyone so that it does not bring about conflict in our environment.
We also should be the epitome of love, peace, and unity, because that's what communication is all about.
In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, NCPC, Tor Uja, says with the assistance from the presidency, this year's pilgrimage exercise will be hitch-free. The NCPC helmsman stated this when he visited the Benue State Governor, Samuel Otom. He says the commission intends to airlift about 20,000 pilgrims this year as against 8,000 in the past. Reverend Uja underscores the importance of holy pilgrimage to the spiritual and moral development of individuals and the nation.
Is primarily put forth to organize Christian pilgrimages for the church in Nigeria. At the beginning, the pilgrimages were only to Jerusalem and Israel, but we have expanded it to include some of the landmark areas that apostolic works were done.
The governor of Benue State thanked Mr. President for appointing a son of Benue, expressing optimism that Reverend Uja will perform well. Reverend Uja was later treated at a reception organized in his honor by his kinsmen. Youths have been advised to channel their grievances responsibly in order to achieve the desired positive change. This was the message at the public presentation of two books, Anger and Dynamics of Youth Apostolate, a pastoral response to changing times, authored by Reverend Father Charles Undubisi. Chukunonso Nwabweze has details.
A special Thanksgiving Mass in appreciation to God Almighty for his benevolence upon Reverend Father Charles in the past 10 years of his priestly vocation preceded the unveiling of the books, which many believe will go a long way in instilling good moral values on youths in society. The reviewers, while dissecting the features of the academic work, recommended the books for every family in Nigeria and beyond for the promotion of peace and stability, as well as socio-economic development.
Whether you are expressing negative anger or positive anger, you must change. Something happens. Something happens in the final analysis.
The author, seen by many as a role model for the youths, having spent 7 out of his 10 years of priesthood in the youth ministry, was full of praises to God.
If people base every judgment on ethnicity, religious sentiments, in our diversities, then it is impossible for us to have a common front to confront the ills of our society. And that is what we call change. If we're able to say no at the same time, then evil in our society will stop.
As a man of God, he's relating both the spiritual and the physical, trying to pass the message of what he has interacted with the youth.
We call on Nigerian youths to go and read books, as many books as they can, and avail themselves of the knowledge that is inherent in the experience of others that is tucked into these books.
Guests at the event said the books were an academic milestone. In Abuja, Chukunonso Nwabweze, NTN News.
The University of Nigeria Nsukka Advancement Center has organized a summit with the theme Bridging the Gap in Abuja. The forum is an initiative of the university to provide a platform for stakeholders to raise funds to improve key projects and interactive sessions to generate ideas for a brand of academic excellence. Lydia Bassi reports.
Founded in 1960 by first Nigerian President Nnamdi Azikiwe, the University of Nigeria Nsukka, according to Webometrics rankings of 2015 effective January 2016, rated #1 in Nigeria, 14th in Africa, and among the best 2,000 in the world in terms of academic excellence. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Benjamin Chukwuma Ozumba, said the journey has been plagued by challenges.
Together, we will raise the funds to improve on the key projects, such as power generation, science and technology development, students' welfare, hostels, classrooms, and laboratory equipment.
Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Okechukwu Enelama, an alumnus of the university, gave a lecture which centered on the theme of collaboration, impact, and possibilities.
That this is a good time to reinvent, restore, and rebuild the University of Nigeria Nsukka.
Eminent alumni and friends of the institution, including the Chancellor, Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II, represented by Senator Gbolahan Dada, commended the initiative to raise funds for development purposes to meet yearning demands.
It's a period for them to give back to those universities and see how can they improve the standard of universities.
In Abuja, Lydia Bassi, NTA News.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers has advocated the consideration of full inclusion of engineers at the helms of affairs of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) for efficiency in line with the federal government moves to restructure the corporation. The group stated this in a media briefing at its headquarters in Abuja. Justin Bem Oni reports.
Following the recently announced structural change of the NNPC into 30 companies by the federal government, which is under review by some consultants, the Nigerian Society of Engineers seeks either to be granted the right of certifying the professional standing of the engineers of that team, or be given the privilege to review their work before it is implemented. The engineering body says it is a way of government's effort at restructuring NNPC for commercial independence and operational efficiency. But the value drivers, they insist, are the facilities and the process in addition to people and finance. They suggest there has to be professional and engineering service control at the highest level if the three project triangle sides of cost, time, and quality are to be met.
The position of the corporation's engineer should be maintained at directorate level for safety and accountability, along with effective corporate standards and oversight.
The body also raised concerns on incessant collapse of building structures in the country, urging Koren and state governments to be more proactive and preemptive in curbing the activities of quacks in the industry to arrest the reoccurrence of such collapse. Justin Bem Unyi, NTA News.
As Nigeria joins the world in marking this year's World Environmental Day, societies have advocated positive environmental actions aimed at protecting nature and planet Earth. This was the focus of the body's awareness campaign on environmental sustainability in Nigeria as it visited the National Children's Park and Zoo in Abuja. Here again is Justin Bem Unyi.
The world is dealing with an unprecedented spike in human activities degrading the environment, as well as illegal wildlife hunt down leading to extinctions, and this is threatening to overturn decades of conservation gains. Relevant stakeholders like the Nigerian Environmental Society, who is the official watchdog of the Nigerian environment, are raising global awareness on environmental sustainability and tourism.
Our environment is being depleted, and we are saying there must be collaboration from every sector of the society to sustain our environment.
Destruction of plants and animals has to be stopped. People have to be very, very conscious of what they are doing. Whatever they are doing, they have to do it in a scientific way so that it will not exterminate the total population of either plants or animals.
Every company, not just company, or every individual should know that the environment should be used in the sustainable form. If not, it will not be able to sustain even the life of us.
And if you damage the environment, you don't have any other environment to sustain you. You cannot practice those things you think you can practice without a very sustainable environment.
In tandem with this year's theme, illegal trading in wildlife, the body had a tour of the National Children's Park and Zoo to appreciate the preservation of nature. Justin Bem Unyi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, youths from across the African region have met to share experiences on issues of environment at the maiden edition of the Regional Partners Meeting in Lusaka, Zambia. It is to provide a blueprint for a sustainable environment for development. Becky Kashimauna reports that the theme for the conference is education and sustainable development for young people.
SustainAware is a global youth partnership for education on sustainable development, which was established in the year 2014. There were different presentations on environmental issues by different speakers of the various countries represented. The Chief Executive Officer, Youth Environment Network, Zambia, Billy Lombe, and the Chief Executive Officer, Connected Development, Code, Nigeria, Hamzat Lawal, presented the lead paper.
People plant trees anyhow. It's not just about planting trees, but it's about also where do you want to plant your tree. You also look at the time, the season, and people miss out that. So we are very, very careful when it comes to tree planting.
As much as we want to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, we also need to leverage on partnership. How Nigeria is able to partner with Zambia, with Slovenia, and other European Union countries.
Sustainaware is a project supported by the European Commission. The coordinator, Thomas Gorek, said their goal is to mobilize, educate, and engage youth to be part of creating awareness on climate change in their various countries. Some students and participants commended the initiative. Delegates say they intend to influence the policy of their government on environmental issues when they get back to their countries. From Lusaka, Zambia, Becky Kasimaona, NTA News.
The essence of road bumps or speed breakers is to compel the motorist to slow down and maintain a regulated pace of movement at certain areas. But when those bumps are not conspicuous, they pose danger to both the motorist and other road users. The need, therefore, to ensure visibility of speed breakers informed the bump marking project embarked upon by a group of media personnel in Abuja. Kama has the details.
The group, under the aegis of Celebrity Special Marshals, CSM, undertook the marking of speed breakers from Galadimawa end of the Lokogoma Highway, a suburb of the FCT.
It's an opportunity for us to tell Nigerians there's need for them to be road conscious.
We are safety partners with the FRSC, and we've decided to come out of the comfort of our offices and homes to come out and see how we can add value.
The Celebrity Special Marshals are executing the project in conjunction with the Federal Road Safety Commission, whose officials were also at the site.
I appreciate them very well in the Corps for helping us to do that which we should do.
The idea that informed government placing the road bombs here in the first place is to reduce speed because of the fact that the area has been noted for road traffic crashes occasioned by excessive speed, particularly in the late hours and early in the mornings.
Some motorists commented on the usefulness of the bump marking initiative.
When you are driving, especially at night, these bumps could be a challenge because visibility is a problem. But with what they are doing here, it's a very good job.
Celebrity Special Marshals are also involved in regular traffic control and other routine activities of road safety agents. In Abuja, Kama, NTA News.
And talking sports now, the National Lottery Trust Fund begins nationwide distribution of sports facilities to public primary schools as top seed Novak Djokovic claims his maiden French Open title. Kene Mabudike brings us details on our sports update.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, David Lawal Babachir, has promised to assist the Nigeria House Projects Committee in selling Nigeria to the world during the 2016 Rio Olympic Games. Babachir, who spoke through the Permanent Secretary, General Services, Mohammed Bukar, while receiving the committee led by its coordinator, Abdullahi Mohammed, in Abuja, however, urged the committee to remain focused on their mandate. 4 public primary schools in Abuja, namely Science Primary School, School for the Deaf, and School for the Handicapped, all in Kuje, as well as Government Primary School, Wagwa, have taken delivery of sports facilities donated by the National Lottery Trust Fund. The stakeholders say the facilities will aid in boosting sports activities in the schools.
They are all happy and they are all excited, and this distribution continues nationwide.
Most of our children, they love our sport, and they love sport just like that. So, and they like to play any type of sport. So we make sure that we put it in use from time to time.
We have the court there every evening. They used to go there and play the little one they have. And as it is now, they are so happy. We are going to make use of it.
Top seed Novak Djokovic made history Sunday by winning the 2016 French Open with a 3-6, 6-1, 6-2, 6-4 victory over Britain's Andy Murray. The 29-year-old world number 1, who was winning at Roland Garros for the first time in his career, has now won 12 Grand Slam titles, 5 shy of the world record of 17 held by Roger Federer, as he became the first man since Rod Laver in 1962 to hold all 4 tennis Grand Slam titles at the same time. Meanwhile, 22-year-old Spaniard Gabin Muguruza has continued to celebrate her maiden Grand Slam title after defeating top seed Serena Williams 7-5, 6-4 in the women's competition. With sports update, Kenan Imabodike, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has paid glowing tribute to the late Owerri monarch, Eze Emmanuel Emeyonu Njemanze, describing him as a monarch of candor and character. In a condolence message by the Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the president said the late traditional ruler was outspoken and truthful in all circumstances, especially in matters of public interest and well-being of ordinary people. The president acknowledges the contributions of the late royal father to the peace in the city of Owerri, and of course mutual relationship with other parts of states was typical when fraudsters attempted to turn the area to a land of ritual killers and dubious men in the mid-90s. Mr. President praised God to receive the soul of the departed monarch and urges the deceased royal family as well as the government and people of Imo State to ensure peace in the kingdom and to work for a peaceful, orderly funeral and succession of the traditional ruler who God rewarded with a long and fruitful life. Late Eze Njemanze was an outstanding pharmacist in the public service career that flourished before he ascended the throne of his ancestors in 1989. Let's take a quick look at the weather pictures across the country.
Hello and welcome. I'm Oluchukwu Anopu with the weather forecast. Moderate rainfall activities are anticipated in most parts of the country in the next 24 hours. And onto the forecast, chances of rainfall activities are likely within the coastal cities, Eket, Calabar, Lagos axis. The central cities will witness some overnight rainfall activities, places like Mambila, Jos, Kaduna axis. Also to the northwest, chances of isolated thunderstorms are likely around Sokoto, Kebbi, and their environ. Other places will be cloudy. While later in the afternoon stroke evening hours, a better prospect of thunderstorms are likely around the extreme part of the north, parts of the central cities, and of course the southern cities. I leave you with temperature forecast. Well, we advise you keep a day with us for better planning of your outdoor activities, especially at this season. Thank you for watching.
And there you have the weather prospects for Monday, wrapping up the news segment. But then we'll take a short break now, and Becky will be back with Newsline in just a moment. So stay with us.
Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
A famous boxer once said, "The fight is won long before you step into the ring." It takes massive investment, dedication, planning, and during fierce competition, never backing down. In 2005, Glo invested in the world's only privately owned undersea data cable, then connected this to its extensive fiber optic network throughout Nigeria, which seamlessly delivers flexible and affordable data plans for everyone, making Glo Nigeria's largest data network in new subscriptions. You see, it's not what you step into the ring with that makes you the master. It's everything you did to get you there. Dial *777# to choose an attractive data plan. The largest data network, Glo, Grandmasters of Data.
As the sun rises over the hills of Abuja, so too dawns a new way of life and exquisite standard of living. Enjoy your own originally designed and quality-built home in the serene and secure environment of Sunrise Hills. Experience this uplifting lifestyle with breathtaking views of the city. Rise above. Sunrise Hills is unlike anything you've ever seen before. A new way of life is dawning in the heart of Nigeria.
What?
What are you doing?
Stop!
Stop! There you go.
Yay, Indomie!
All amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
To all the unique children of the world, happy Children's Day from Indomie. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Funny question. Who do you think drinks Horlicks?
25.50.
Who do you think drinks Horlicks?
Horlicks is scientifically formulated with 23 nutrients to help kids grow tall, strong, and sharp. Horlicks, power-packed with nutrients for growth.
Thanks for staying on the line. After this first segment, we will rejoin Abuja for the news. Now, gone seem to be the days when, for the average Nigerian, a plump, robust woman it is. That was then. Is a sign that the woman is well taken care of by her husband. The woman herself loved to look robust because it meant that her husband loved and took adequate care of her. These days, however, the average Nigerian woman, married or single, craves to be slim fit. She doesn't just stop at the craving, she takes steps to achieve the look. Why the sudden craze for slimness? That is the assignment Newsline gave Joy Ken Abakoya to investigate.
In not too distant past, a beautiful and healthy Nigerian woman was the one who was plump, voluptuous, and well-rounded in body. This explains why many new brides in certain cultures were taken to the fattening room, where they were fed with meals to fatten them. However, the reverse obviously is the case. Most Nigerian women do not only crave to be slim, they take all kinds of measures to achieve it. Business-minded people have cashed into this craving by women to establish gyms and spas in almost every corner of major cities, while imported diet tablets, herbal diet teas, magic meals, and snacks for weight loss have flooded the Nigerian markets. What Newsline is asking tonight is, why the sudden craze for slimness by Nigerian women?
A lot of women are now conscious of the fact that they need to live healthy. And then they are seeing women from other parts of the world looking very young at some good age, let's say 50, 60, and everybody wants something good. So I believe it's not just for the men, it's about self-confidence and feeling good about yourself even when you're getting old.
When you are fat, you are not agile, you cannot be able to do anything. When you are not fat, you can run, you can do anything easily.
It's like an image problem. A lot of men nowadays tend to objectify women. So a lot of them tend to want to be the way men want them to be.
Some people say this trending slim look makes the woman smart, beautiful, and attractive. Does this mean that plump or fat women cannot be smart and beautiful?
You can be both beautiful and smart. It's a thing of the mind. It's not a thing of the body. It's the mind. The mind controls the body. So if a woman is fat, it doesn't mean she's a slob.
I know of a young lady who is fat, but she's very smart. She does not see herself as being fat and therefore being odd. She's smart. She likes herself, and the way she carries herself tells you that she likes herself.
Several Nigerian men in the past are known to have said that they preferred fat women for comfort and warmth, which they say the bodies of fat women provide. With the current craze for slimness, which most Nigerian men now prefer, have plump and fat women lost their place in the hearts of the men?
By the time you marry that kind of fat woman, so by the time you start getting 1 or 2 pickings now, so you will discover that it will burst into another thing that you will discover that it's another human being entirely.
I want a woman whom I can manage. That woman, when I look at you, I feel proud of you. I feel confident introducing to my friend and whoever I meet.
Now, because most Nigerian women are moving with the trend of slimness, they consume all kinds of imported herbal teas, capsules, supplements, and other consumables to achieve the slim fit in the shortest possible time. How healthy is this?
Frankly speaking, there are some that are not safe to use. There are some herbal preparations that, sincerely speaking, I cannot vouch for. Not all of them are actually good for use. Some of them contain even harmful ingredients. So before you talk about using herbal preparations, you need to first of all look at the source.
There are those who believe that being slim automatically translates to good health.
Being slim doesn't necessarily mean the person is unhealthy or healthy, and being fat doesn't mean the person is even healthy or unhealthy. The key here is that we should all watch what we eat, exercise, and all that.
Thinking more seriously about it, is it everyone that can achieve slimness?
Why should every woman be slim? God did not make us everybody slim. There are different shapes and sizes.
Your weight to your height is very, very important. Some people are very, very obese. Some have a normal weight for their height.
While some keep slim for healthy reasons, others do it for cosmetic appeal. The truth is, whether fat, plump or slim, true beauty radiates from the inside.
Staying slim is a lifetime of work, but be reminded that variety is a spice of life. Not everyone must be slim, just be healthy. It may be for the purpose of looking more beautiful, as some people ascribe beauty to fair skin, or it may be for any other reason. The fact remains that it's a matter of choice, and there's nothing wrong with that. A major concern tonight is on the long-term side effects of applying bleaching creams on the skin. This report is meant to enlighten people so they don't act out of ignorance. Tekla Wilkie reports.
It is almost every woman's secret desire to be admired, complimented, and adored. The first point of reference more often than not is her beauty. Little wonder some women will go to the moon and back to achieve this desire. In many parts of Africa, a light-skinned woman is often considered more beautiful and attractive. It is believed that light-skinned women get attention from the opposite sex. It makes one wonder why.
When you're walking down the road, you see black girl, yellow girl. Back in the day, they will stop and it's the yellow girl they want to talk to.
If men want girlfriends, they look for the yellow girl, the attractive girl.
Several factors are said to influence why some women embrace the skin lightening measure to look beautiful. They include the sheer need of external appraisal and peer pressure.
This thing about bleaching is a historical problem, where the oppressor have made you believe that a light skin is more important than a dark skin. So it's a mental damage that has been on us from colonization, for you to believe that long straight hair is better than thick hair, for you to believe that light skin is better than dark skin, for you to believe that pointed nose is more beautiful than broad nose. So it's a mental slavery we have to come out from.
Love yourself for who you are. That is more attractive. Us men, we find women that are confident more attractive.
The World Health Organization has put the percentage of Nigerian women who use skin lightening products at 77%. This makes Nigerian women the highest users of skin lightening creams world over. Interestingly, some men are guilty as charged.
Whatever a woman can do, a man can do better. So men also bleach, but disastrously. They have even worse complications than women.
While some Nigerians moderate their exposure to these skin lightening creams, others go to the extreme, so much so you can't tell the difference between roasted plantain, popularly called boli, and their fingers.
The pigment cell no longer knows what to do. So it does not know, it becomes an abnormal cell. It can produce any color. It can produce blue, it can produce black, it will produce green, because you have so disrupted its work. When you bleach the skin and you remove pigments, the melanin, you have turned yourself into an albino. And just as albinos age fast, so will you age fast. And it's not reversible, unfortunately.
By the time you try to be yourself, it's too late. People begin to mistake the identity. Who is this? Who is she? That's the truth about life. So there's nothing like keeping it real.
God created you in the best version of you. You know, you can't be smarter or wiser than God.
Disturbingly, the various skin lightening creams have been proven to contain toxic chemicals that are hazardous to health and could lead to blood cancer, liver and kidney cancer, plus other skin-related diseases that leaves the user with permanent scars.
We have those who have become cushingoid, have Cushing's disease. They turn into Humpty Dumpty, almost like a balloon, because of potent steroid application. We have those who have become depressed, because if you use too much steroid, it can cause depression. We have those ones who have, in fact, turned themselves into leopards. Because another thing that hydroquinone does is to cause satellite depigmentation all over the body. Their legs will become like leopard skin.
Some of them start to smell funny.
Another disturbing trend associated with hardcore bleachers is that they purchase unmarked creams and have no idea of the content of what they are consuming. Even more dangerous is the practice of injecting chemical fluids into the bloodstream with the intention to initiate the bleaching from the inside.
They can cause skin cancer, primarily, especially squamous cell carcinoma of the skin. And then, of course, glutathione can cause leukemia.
All I would say is try to stay healthy, try to stay clean, and think of the future.
Now, let's do the math. Bleaching creams may make one look attractive. Check. It makes one's skin glow. Check. But there's a clause there, though, because not all skin achieve that glow. Lastly, bleaching creams, they say, gives one the attention. Well, one can check that as well. But what most consumers fail to check is the long-term damage and health implication that could arise from the consumption of toxic chemicals used to produce these skin lightening formulas in whatever format.
If you see the ugly sides of a woman who has used bleaching cream for a long time, it's not something that any young girl will want to start.
While every woman is expected to pay attention to appearance, experts advise women to adopt natural measures, as a woman's best cosmetic is her confidence, poise, and grace.
Like you heard, everything must be done with caution. Like we always say on Newsline, safety first. Your well-being is paramount. We'll take a quick break and rejoin Abuja for more news. Stay with us.
Together, MTN and you, we created smiles. Together, we empowered many. Together, we saved lives. Together, we inspired dreams. And together, we could do even more with the MTN Foundation What Can We Do Together project Phase 2. SMS MTN Foundation to 321 to nominate a community. Join in. Let's do more.
MTN, everywhere you go.
What?
What are you doing?
Stop! Stop!
There you go.
Yay, Indomie!
start shouting your way.
It's me, like no other.
No one's can do like you.
It's me, like no other.
Remember this every day.
It's me, like no other.
Get it right with Indomie.
Indomie, like no other. It's me, like no other. It's me, like no other.
Here's to all amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
To all the unique children of the world, happy Children's Day from Indomie. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
I major in physics education. I teach physics and basic science to kids between the ages of 9 to 17. As a science teacher, teaching students about energy is one of the most interesting topics. Kids are playful, they are active. It is very interesting explaining to them that their activities can actually be converted into power. The Shell Kinetic and Solar Pitch is the perfect way to explain to them how energy is generated from their sporting activities can actually be converted into power.
Science is fun. It inspires. It teaches us we can convert our own energy into light. I want to become an engineer when I grow up.
What if your idea could change the world?
Welcome back to Abuja. We have a breaking news for you. Following the sighting of the new moon of Ramadan in parts of the country, the President General, Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, and the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, has announced the commencement of the 30-day Ramadan fast tomorrow, Monday, 6th of June, equivalent to 1st of Ramadan, 1437 after Hijrah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In accordance with Islamic law and our pursuit of the obligatory ibadat of fast as the third pillar of Islam, we have the greatest pleasure to announce that today, Sunday, the 29th day of Sha'aban, 1437 after Hijrah, of our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to 5th June 2016, has marked the end of Sha'ban and the beginning of the new month of Ramadan tomorrow, inshallah. The new moon has just been sighted in many states of our great country. Reliable reports of moon sighting were received from Muslim leaders and organizations across the country, and duly verified by the National Moon Sighting Committee and our committee here in Sokoto. Consequent upon this, tomorrow, Monday, the 6th day of June 2016 becomes the first day of Ramadan, 1437 after Hijrah, inshallah. We therefore call on all our Muslim brothers and sisters to commence the fasting accordingly. We would like to use this opportunity to implore the Muslim Ummah to devote ourselves fully to ibadat throughout the holy month of Ramadan. Pray fervently for the blessing of Allah and also continuous prayers for the leadership in our country to succeed in steering the affairs of this great country, as well as the sustenance of peace and stability of our great nation and the world in general. We also continue to urge all Muslims to use this holy month of Ramadan to dedicate ourselves to the teachings of Islam and continue to live peacefully with one another, irrespective of religious and tribal differences. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward us for the ibadat we are going to offer this month with Al-Jannah Firdaus. May He continue to protect and bless our dear country, Nigeria. Happy Ramadan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
As Muslims commence Ramadan fast, President Muhammadu Buhari has enjoined Muslim faithfuls to use the holy month as an opportunity to seek forgiveness, get closer to Allah through worship and good deeds. This is contained in a message signed by his special media assistant, Malam Garba Shehu. It says the month of Ramadan is a time of spiritual reawakening, which demands not only abstinence from food and drinks, but also all wrongdoings. The statement adds that the president is disturbed why people hike food prices during the month of Ramadan. He therefore urged Muslim traders, business people, civil servants and politicians to use the period to seek forgiveness by avoiding wrong practices for personal gains at the expenses of others. The statement further noted that the president wants religion to serve as a moral restraint from bad practices, saying those who steal national resources are merely paying lip service to religion, government. It notes it is working towards bringing relief to their lives through palliative measures and faithful implementation of the 2016 national budget. Meanwhile, Senate President Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki has urged Muslim faithfuls to use the Ramadan period to pray for the peace, security and God's intervention in the country. A statement signed by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Yusuf Olanionu, says the Senate President thanked vote for the grace to participate in another holy obligation. He reminded Muslims to use the occasion to rededicate themselves in worshipping God and in the service of humanity, which are the ideals of Islam as a religion of peace. The statement assures Nigerians that the federal government will ensure that the right policies and laws that will make life more meaningful are put in place and enforced to bring about prosperity and harmony. It adds that the present administration will work to ensure that insurgents, terrorists, militia groups and other criminal elements are flushed out. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has appealed to Muslims to use the holy month of Ramadan, which is a special period of time when Muslims around the world focus on prayers, fasting, giving of charity, and religious devotion to offer special prayers for the nation and leaders at all levels. In a statement issued by his spokesman, Turaki Hassan, in Abuja on Sunday, the Speaker said that the country is in dire need of special prayers in view of the present state of the economy and the security situation in the country. He reiterated the resolve and commitment of the House of Representatives in the spirit of Ramadan to always take legislative positions and interventions on the side of the needy and less privileged persons in the society. President Muhammadu Buhari will take 10 days off work and travel to London on Monday, the 6th of June, to rest. A statement by his special advisor on media, Femi Adesina, says during the holiday, he will see an ENT specialist for a persistent ear infection. The president was examined by his personal physician, an ENT specialist in Abuja, and was treated. Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigeria will continue to make wild consultations before taking a stand on the Economic Partnership Agreement, EPA, between the ECOWAS and the European Union. The Vice President, at the just concluded Dakar meeting of West African leaders, explained that there are ongoing negotiations with the key economic players in Nigeria on the partnership agreements. State House correspondent Jide Unifade reports.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo observed that some of the terms of the Economic Partnership Agreement are capable of restricting manufacturers' trading activities and that the federal government would not want this to happen. The Vice President explained that in the consultation process, it is equally important that as decision is being taken, the concerns of these critical stakeholders should be considered. He said the nation should tread cautiously.
We are, of course, talking to
While a number of West African nations have endorsed the deal, a few, including Nigeria, have raised issues regarding the implications of the deal being championed by the European Union. The Economic Partnership Agreement is a free trade deal that had been initiated by the European Union and the ECOWAS negotiators, covering trade in goods and development cooperation. The Vice President, who represented President Muhammadu Buhari at the 49th Ordinary Session of the Economic Community of West African States in Dakar, Senegal, also restated Nigeria's constant commitment and obligations to the regional body, having recently paid its dues. This is coming against the background of worries that some of the members of the body are not up to date in their financial obligations, with a call raised at the Dakar summit for such nations to do so. The ECOWAS leaders commended President Muhammadu Buhari and the nation on the progress recorded by the country against terrorists. At the end of the summit, Liberian President Ms. Ellen Sirleaf Johnson was chosen as the chairperson of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, taking over from our Senegalese counterpart, Mr. Macky Sall. Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And that concludes our bit from this end. Becky is in Lagos and she'll continue right away with Newsline. Becky, you're on.
Welcome back. It is the untold hardship experienced by the Gadamari community in Shongo local government area of Gombe State that made it necessary for them to take the bull by the horn and not wait for the government. When members of the community came together to find a lasting solution to their problem, our correspondent Musa Abubakar went there to listen in. Let's hear what he heard.
This is a snake bite victim who died on the way while his relatives are taking him to hospital in Kaltungo from Galdemaru. The relatives have traveled for hours overnight on foot because the road is not motorable. Ibrahim Obe is a victim of snake bite from Galdemaru. It happened around 9 o'clock and we spent the night on the road.
The people living over this range are predominantly low people and black people. They find it difficult to transport their foodstuff to the market. And again, when people felt sick, they find we usually carry the people on the head down here to the main road.
The people of Galdemaru are predominantly farmers that produce beniseed, granules, and beans, among other crops, which rarely finds its way to the market. It is in cognizance of this that Michael Tungo, Engineer Salim Muhammadu, deems it necessary to organize his people to clear the area in order to make it motorable for people of Galdemaru.
It's for us to reduce the maternal mortality and also to reduce children's suffering. Considering the economical position of the country, we cannot wait forever. We have to mobilize our people to do what we can to reduce the death rates, which are highly avoidable.
Michael Tungo and caretaker chairman of Shongom local government, Timothy Burak, appealed to state and federal government to come to the aid of the community as more needs to be done.
Quite a number of population of Shongom local government people are living behind the range. And so we want to solicit for their help, that they should do as a matter of fact to bring us succor to help us from our suffering.
People with a purpose, I must say. Great job there. In what signifies a boost to the nation's economy, Dunes Investment and Global Service Limited has unveiled a 250-capacity state-of-the-art Royal Hall in Abuja. Abdulmalik Adio reports that the event had R&B sensation Inyanya as the face of the organization.
It was not just an ordinary album launch. It was a commendation of hard work and dedication to the music industry. It's been more than 2 years since Inyanya's first album sold out, and now he has added another feather to his cap, which is second album. With hit songs like Type of a Woman, Mama, Okamfo, Nakupenda, and Gift, which won him Best Artist of the Year award at the AMVCA Awards, Inyanya is representing a blend of Afropop and R&B. Many artists from the music industry, including comedians, movie actors, business tycoons, captains of industry, from far and near graced the occasion. Top performers of the night were Kiss Daniel, Falz the Bad Guy, Peter Okoye, Praise, Timi Dakolo, Shei Shei, and two Baba who graced the stage to celebrate one of their own, Iyanya. A milestone like this wasn't easy. He said his song were a compilation of his sojourn in the world, the trials and the travails he went through in his quest to the top.
I give thanks to God, Jesus Christ, I owe it all to God, all I do is just sing.
The album launch also featured the unveiling of a shopping mall, taken up by supermarket, household furniture stores, and a 250 capacity Royal Hall equipped with state-of-the-art facility for local and international events.
In Dunes, we believe in excellence. So today's celebration is actually a celebration of excellence. It's not about opening a hall, it's about excellence.
With the addition of this quality facility located at number 44 Aguin Rosi, Maitama district of Abuja, this increases the shopping and the conference facilities options available in the country and enhances Abuja's status as a city to do business in.
One-time Deputy Director Programs at the NTA, Biodun Balogun, was overwhelmed with joy when his daughter, Damilola, got married at the weekend to Olorunleke. This took place in Ilori in a ceremony our correspondent, Kemi Bisisoni, describes as carnival-like. Let's see it.
Damilola and Olorunleke took their vows in the presence of God and the entire congregation present as witnesses to live together as one entity according to God's law and ordinance. In a sermon, Pastor Emmanuel Okonkwo described marriage as a divine institution by God and therefore stressed that for the couple to experience a blissful marriage, it must be done in accordance with God's principle. Pastor Okonkwo enjoined the couple to always pray together as well as support one another in all things. He advised them to learn to appreciate each other in words and actions. The couple signed the marriage register and were later presented with their marriage certificates. They were joined by families and friends to give thanks to God for the beginning of the union. After the church, all roads led to the reception venue. The couple tried to outdo each other on the dance floor. Guests had plenty to eat and drink and were entertained with melodious music by the live band on stand. The NTA family and other well-wishers seized the opportunity to felicitate with the couple. For the lovebirds, it was a day they had been looking forward to.
I feel so excited, I feel so elated, I'm happy.
Their parents could not hide their joy.
No matter what, they should not be far away from the word of God. They should live with love, happiness, and stay in peace with each other. I'm the most happiest woman in the world. I feel so much happy.
I wish for them to be tolerant of each other.
Earlier, the traditional marriage rite had been conducted, where the bride's hand was sought for in marriage by the groom and his family.
Happy married life to the lovely couple. We wish them only the best. Still on weddings, it was a turn of the former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Professor Bartholomew Okolo, to experience the joy of a parent when he gave out his daughter in marriage. The ceremony was as colorful as it was well attended. Chidem Maundabisi will tell us all about it.
From the National and State Assemblies, Government House, Royal House, the academia, the media and entertainment industry, as well as different parts of the country, friends, well-wishers gathered for this occasion. The joining in holy matrimony of the daughter of former Vice-Chancellor, University of Nigeria Nsukka, Chizoba Okolo, and the love of her life, Ibe Ono. bride and groom, now officially Mr. and Mrs. Onu, performed their first official tasks. With the appearance of one of Nigeria's foremost musicians, Phyno, on the dance floor, the heat of the high-profile celebration was turned up. Emotions at high ends as well. The bride and groom had fulfilled the traditional marriage obligations in line with Igbo cultural rites.
The new Mr. and Mrs., congratulations and God bless. The rate at which domestic violence amongst married people leads to the death of one or the other has reached alarming proportions in Nigeria today. How can this trend be stopped? The latest case of such violence that has led to the death in Lagos is in our next segment. Let's take another commercial break.
Hear a bomb explosion or gunshots of an active shooter, that might be a terror attack. At such times, always remember 3 action words. Run, hide, report. Don't try to run towards the terror scene to save the situation, because there might be a second bomb blast or another attack. Run far away and take cover. Make sure you are safe first. Yes, it is in our nature to sympathize over the hurt, but remember, only trained personnel can help in such situations. When in a secured environment, promptly call relevant authorities and help will come. For anonymous reporting, call 09630-3250-5 or 0813-2222-106. If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The National Assembly Joint Committee on Capital Markets and Institutions, in conjunction with the Security and Exchange Commission and other stakeholders in the capital markets, wish to invite the general public to a 2-day forum theme, realizing the full potential of the Nigerian economy through proactive capital market legislation. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Professor Yemi Osibajo, GCON, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Chairman of the occasion, Dr. Aliko Dangote, GCON, President, Dangote Group. Co-chairman of the occasion, Aiboji AIG Imokwede, CON, President of Council, Nigerian Stock Exchange. Guest speakers, Muriu Gwazo, Director General, Security and Exchange Commission. Oscar Uyema, CEO, the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Ben Makrewane, CEO, Financial Derivatives Company Limited. Tony Lumelu, Chairman, Hares Holdings. Andrew Roberts, international legal experts, as well as other national and international speakers. Chief host, Dr. Bukola Saraki, President of the Nigerian Senate, and Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, Speaker, House of Representatives. 24 state governors are expected to be in attendance. Date, Monday 6th and Tuesday 7th June 2016. Venue, NAF Conference Center and Suite, Plot 496, Amodu Bello Way, Kado, Abuja. Announcer, National Assembly Joint Committee on Capital Markets and Institutions. Attendance is strictly by invitation. The eyes have it.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world. Kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Hi, I'm Corey David. Maven. Okay, guess what? The police force is more efficient and more proactive than ever. All we need to do is trust the police and partner with the police. I don't get that lot. God, you win. The police is here to protect and serve you. All they need is your cooperation. So I'm calling on all communities to cooperate with the police to ensure fast response in case of any emergency. Police na your friend. If you no call police, who you want call? I don't change my name to Godwin.
This message is from the Nigeria Police Force.
We are here to serve, and indeed, Nigerians will get the service they have longed for and which they rightly deserve.
The leader today that we have in Nigeria is one the world has been waiting for. Nigeria is seen in a new and a different, very positive light.
With what President Muhammadu Buhari is doing, our economy will be strong and resilient to withstand the shocks.
He wants the best for this nation. We want the best for this nation. Our aspirations should be to put this country first, and together we shall make progress.
If we don't believe in our own country, nobody will believe in our own country. So we must make sure that we continue with the trajectory. We don't want to make a mistake of the past.
This president has a singular opportunity to make that difference because the whole country is behind him.
And by the grace of Almighty God and the sheer will and determination of the Nigerian people, we will come out stronger and more united than ever.
The production, distribution, and sale of counterfeit and fake drugs is a corrupt practice and a crime against humanity. This has informed several measures and strategies to combat fake drugs, including introduction of anti-counterfeiting cutting-edge technologies to detect fake drugs on the spot. These technologies are being deployed to all the states across the Federation, as well as the internally displaced people's camps. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, and his team are committed to this fight.
The federal government of Nigeria, in line with its anti-corruption agenda and posture, will fight a total war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products in order to ensure that Nigerians remain healthy and well.
Lend your support and join NAFDAC to rid the country of fake drugs and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Glad to have you back. The rate at which domestic violence leads to deaths in Nigerian homes has become alarming. In February, we reported on this program how a female lawyer in Ibadan murdered her husband for having a love child. Last month, we told you about the alleged murder of a woman by her husband in Lagos. Between then and now, a handful of deaths have occurred as a result of domestic violence. Only last week in Lagos, a man reportedly killed his wife, and as I speak, is in police net. Let's hear the rest from Musa Toliat.
Jafar Usoge, his wife Roslyn, and 5 children live on Araromi Street, located in the Oshodi-Sola local government area of Lagos State. Reports have it that their marriage was not a rosy one. This claim manifested on Friday, the 27th of May this year, when Roslyn was allegedly murdered by her husband of 26 years, Jafaru.
My elder sister, husband, younger brother. And I saw her in the police station. And I said, your brother asking my aunt. He said, true. Say, her brother went to her. And I asked my sister, saying, give me 10,000 and I want to travel. He now responds, say, you know, I just come back from the market. And now, I did not say any market. He's late. Okay, wait. They say, now gave her 5,000. And they now put food on the table. And they ate together, he and the man, before went to bed. So when I entered the room, and I saw her on the bed, they have already slaughtered her.
Tears flowed freely as sympathizers watched a team of paramedics convey the remains of Roslyn Soge out of the family apartment. When women rights advocate Joe Okeodumakin paid a condolence visit on late Rosalind's family in Ikorodu, her second son, Richmond, and niece, Veronica, narrated their ordeal on the night Rosalind was murdered.
It was my father that woke me up. He was lying inside the bedroom. I woke my auntie up that she can't call my mom that I was wrong with dad. Okay. When she went inside, she was just calling my mom. So I now went to join her. When I talked to my mom, I now discovered that her body was cold.
I went there and I just dropped on the bed. Here? When I point touch, I saw blood in the neck. When I lift up the woman's neck, I saw hold, everything tear it.
Joe Okeodumakin insists that the full wrath of the law must be taken should Jafaru be found culpable.
We eagerly expect the result of the autopsy. It's enshrined in our constitution. No one has the right to take anybody's life. And if such a thing happens, the full wrath of the law must take its course.
Police spokesperson of the Lagos State Police Command, Dolapo Badmus, says although Jafaru is in police custody, his state of health is failing and that the police is doing everything to stabilize it before further action can commence on the case.
The husband, who after slitting the wife's throat, said he wants to take his life, he decided to drink a large portion of poison. Currently now, he's in the police clinic where the doctors are battling to save his life so that he will eventually face prosecution.
That was indeed a gruesome incident. Of course, the alleged killer husband will face the consequences, but we hope the children are taken care of. The police slogan, which says the police is your friend, was made nonsense of in Onitsha when a commercial bus driver was gruesomely murdered, allegedly by the police. Reports have it that there was a disagreement between the man and the female police officer. One thing led to another and the man was killed. Let's hear the rest of the story from Nkiru Ayafiena.
What began as a bright and beautiful day for residents of number 13 Ibe Street, East Niger Layout, Ogbaro local government area of Anambra State, ended in a tragedy that cost the life of Nonso Uchenwoke, a commercial bus driver. The story began in December last year when Nonso was hired by his neighbor, Ada Ekweme, a police corporal with Okpoko Divisional Police Station, to convey drinks and other items to her village, Mbose, in Ihiala local government area of the state for her traditional marriage ceremony. The policewoman was alleged to have paid Nonso poorly for the job, and this resulted in a quarrel and the policewoman threatening to deal with him.
He told those three men, kill that man, that man is disturbing me. That is what Adamwekwe told them. I just go and rush them, hold them, don't kill my husband. They push me inside the gutter.
According to the eyewitnesses, all pleas for the police officers to let Nonso be taken to the hospital for treatment were refused as they carried his unconscious body into their patrol van and took him away.
They carry stick here, they plank here, they knock him, so they knock him down here.
I said, make I go carry my motor, come and carry this guy to the hospital. Make I get the health before any other thing. They refuse.
The Civil Liberty Organization, Anambra State Branch, confirmed that the deceased had, on the day of his demise, lodged a complaint with the organization on the threat to his life by the policewoman, Ada Ekweme.
We say let proper investigation be carried out into the matter. We wouldn't want, an innocent person to be punished. At the same time, we are bent on making sure that those who are found culpable are punished in accordance with our laws.
Reacting to the incident, the Anambra State Police Commissioner Hosea Kama described it as unfortunate, pointing out that all the suspects have been apprehended and a full investigation launched into the matter. He said an autopsy has also been ordered to be carried out on the deceased to determine the cause of his death.
One of the determining things that will go a long way in helping the investigation will be the result of the autopsy. We are not going to share anybody, however remotely or directly involved or indirectly involved. We are not going to share anybody. We are not going to cover anybody.
Untamed anger does no good, as it were. It's up to Lady Justice to decide. The victim in this report was 23 years old, in the prime of his life, when he was allegedly shot to death by an officer of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in Akwa Ibom State. What really happened? Can this allegation be true? Is it appropriate for any officer of the law to shoot to kill? John Paul Alumona reports.
It was a nightfall for John Chukwudi, a trader with Dompe Global Resources of 34 Nyon Street, Uyo, when a gun-throttled civil defense officer gunned him down at a checkpoint along Ikorekpene Road, Uyo. The incident, which eyewitness described as unfortunate, happened when the truck conveying the victim and under occupants was stopped at a checkpoint mounted by combined officers of civil defense and environmental task force. According to eyewitness, the armed civil defense officer opened fire on the trucks from the back, and bullets rained on the victim, who died on the spot.
So I was coming with our truck. Our driver flashed a single defense light. So there is nothing inside this vehicle. This vehicle is empty. If I want to clear, the single defense just shot direct. The officer just shot direct, and the bullet penetrates to the Chukwudi.
I hear Paul. Immediately I hear the Paul and look by the side. The driver, this motor, go back at the front. I know somebody say somebody don't die. Now people say, see somebody do not don't kill people.
I was in office when I got a call from the driver that civil defense have shot one of them, which is Chukwudi, John.
John Chukwudi hails from Izi local government area of Ebonyi State. At the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Command, Uyo, where the truck and the cops were brought, sympathizers gathered, wondering what must have prompted the incident. The commandant, Mrs. Obia Julo Obiageli, refused comment after NTA News waited for hours to confirm the incident. Investigation revealed that the NSCDC officer, whose name was given as John Okon, is at large, while both Akwa Ibom State Police Command and the NSCDC are making frantic efforts to arrest the suspect.
And engage at all times on SLA Force Order 237. For everyone who breaks that rule, if you go against it, there are disciplinary measures for rank and file and senior police officers who do not engage Force Order 237 at all times.
It would be recalled that the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps was granted license to carry arms in 2011. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps was primarily established to protect oil installations and government property, as well as to regulate private security guards in the country.
The law is on top of the situation, and we shall present new facts as they emerge. We are running off nicely. We'll take our last commercial break and one last segment. Stay on the line.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
What?
What are you doing?
Stop! Stop!
There you go.
Yay, Indomie!
Special in your way.
It's me, like no other.
Something like you.
It's me, like no other.
Just every day.
It's me, like no other.
Everybody Indomie.
Indomie, like no other. It's me, like no other.
Here's to all amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
To all the unique children of the world, happy Children's Day from Indomie. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Welcome back. There is a kingdom in Nigeria synonymous with culture. That kingdom came alive, displaying its rich culture at various ceremonies during the royal burial rites of its monarch, who recently joined his ancestors. Selo Sayade tells us where this kingdom is located and who the revered monarch is.
The royal burial rites for the day commenced in the morning, with various rites being performed in company of the heir apparent to the Benin throne, Idaike Nuselu Prince Ehenede Diawa, the Oba's children, and members of the Benin royal family. The transited Oba of Benin is a unique ruler and a detribalized monarch who operated a kingdom that embraced all, as exemplified in his peaceful reign. No wonder, during the entertainment of guests, which was preceded by the Izakwe rites, all roads that led to the palace grounds witnessed an unusual crowd which cut across tribe, the political class, captain of industries.
I've never met a man so intelligent. He knew where every one of us came from. If you call the name of your village, he knew somebody in that village, in that community.
And as a Benin princess, I am very happy that I have witnessed this day, because it's not often times that one gets to see an event like this. What we are celebrating today is history, culture, and tradition.
The royal burial rites continued with Idaike Nuselu Prince Ehenede Diawa visiting some notable shrines around the city center.
All the best to the kingdom as they continue in the ceremonies. This is where we end Newsline tonight. As always, thanks for staying on the line. Still be here when we return on Sunday next week. We wish you well as the week unfolds. Good night and God bless Nigeria.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Nation is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the YouReport link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google.
Muslims commence Ramadan fast today as Sultan of Sokoto announces sighting of the moon.
President Muhammadu Buhari proceeds on 10-day vacation with effect from today.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigeria will continue consultations regarding her stance on Economic Partnership Agreement, EPA.
On Good Morning Nigeria today, we focus on import duty waivers, uses and abuses, plus matters arising from recovered looted funds.
Well, as the granting of import duty waivers remains contentious, so also are the figures tied to it. Now, the figures on waivers from various government agencies saddled with that responsibility vary.
What is the purpose of import waivers? Well, in most countries, there are mechanisms used to meet their economic goals, especially in protecting local industries, creating jobs, and then promoting exports. Of course, by the time you promote exports, you also generate and swell up your foreign reserves.
All right, Kingsley. Now, like other climes, as we said, it has been a policy of the Nigerian government to grant import duty waivers to individuals and some key sectors of the economy. Now, of course, such as agriculture, textiles, and automobile industries, to mention a few.
All right, now as fiscal policy measures, now waivers are said to have been abused as they were granted to cronies of politicians and some foreign companies instead of producers who really deserved it for the good of the economy. Now, according to the Nigeria Customs Service, Nigeria has lost some 1.4 trillion naira on import waivers over time. 1.4 trillion naira, that's a hefty sum.
Indeed, Kingsley.